Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's section. So, the last week we started on how we can use the cues, which is data analysis, to get a high pay job. So, hope you can hear me very well. If you can hear me, let me see the sign in the comment sections for me to know before we move to what we have today. Please, if you can hear me, drop a sign on the comment section so I can move on to the next. Can we hear me? Can everybody hear me? Okay. Who else is session? Who else is in this live session that can hear me? Can only see one sign. We have four here. So, like I said, the last time we were able to lay a foundation on how to turn data analysis into a high-paying career. So, this section today, we'll be looking at some key reward application. So, our section today, we'll be talking about turning data analysis into a really high paying career, the reward application across industry, the reward application across industries, turning this is into high paying career. So the reward application, looking at the reward application, so if you have a question, as I'm explaining, going deep into this section, please, you can drop your question, you can drop it on the chat, so we'll attend to it. Like I said, if you have a question, you can drop it on the chat, then I'll attend to your question. So let's move on. And before I go further again, I also told us about the scholarship that is coming up. So I don't know how many of you are ready for it. So I'm talking about those that don't have the basic understanding of data analysis, not those are already job ready. You understand? So I'm talking about those that are not even working with data yet. So that's meant for those ones. Okay. So let's go on. So turning data analysis into a high-paying career, the reward application across industries. So there are reward application across industries which we are going to be looking at in this section. So the number one reward application I like us to look at is the area of business intelligence, marketing. We have customer analytics. We have health and medical research. We have risk supply chain, we have risk analysis, then supply chain, then we have the logistics. So we'll be looking at these areas, look at how we can use these applications. Okay, so if I move on to it, I'd like to show us the area. Please, if you have any question as I move on, please drop it on the comment section. So this is the real world application of data analysis. This is the real world application of data analysis. We have business intelligence, we have marketing, and we have customer analytics. We have the healthcare and medical research. Then we have financial and risk analysis. So these are some real world application of data analysis. These are some real world application data analysis. So if I may ask, why is data analysis lucrative? Why is data analysis lucrative? So who can answer that question? So know the answer to that question, you can drop it to me on the comment section. So why is data analysis creative? Nobody? Why data analysis look creative? I'm waiting. So the number one part of it is that high demand across industries. High demand across industries. Every sectors rely on data to make decision. Every sector relies on data to make decision. Next, impact driven pay. So that we'll have next driven sales. So companies reward professionals who can turn data into actionable strategy. Companies reward professionals, not those that only know the tools, but data into actionable strategy. To actionable strategy. Then we have the third one, which is competitive advantage, which is the third one. So skills analysts can command salaries far above average because they drive revenues, reduce risk, and optimize operation. They drive revenue, they reduce and optimize operation. Please, if you're listening to this section live and you're live with me in this section, please can you signify, let me see from the comment section, can you drop an emoji? Let me see if you're with me. Please drop a love emoji. Let me know you're with me. Good. Good. Okay. Okay. So please keep your question as one. Ask me any question regarding to, because I'm not seeing likes on this section. Let's try to like what we are doing. Let's try to. Okay. So the key part we are looking at is how data analysis is, why data analysis is lucrative. So I've run through this section already. I've run through this section already. So let's move on to the next. Our major, our major topic. So turning data analysis into reward application, into a high paying career, then we are looking at the application of that. We are looking at the reward applications. So the first one I've mentioned now is that I've told you that some of the reward application to it is business intelligence, which is this, then marketing and customer, and then healthcare and medical research. These are some of them. Then financial and risk analysis, then supply chain and logistics. So these are some of the areas. These are some of the areas. So we'll be going deep into it. So as I'm explaining, you know your strengths. Some of us are into business. Some of us are already have work that we are doing. You understand? From there, you can pick up some of the um, areas I'm going to explain and the rules of this um, reward application, the rules. Like for data intelligence, I will break it down, explain who work on that aspect, what you are meant to know, the tools you are meant to learn for you to make sure you turn that skills into what's a high paying job. Okay, so let's move on. So let's start with the section. So we are starting with the business intelligence, which is the BI. So what is the role of this BI? What is the role? What role does BI play? What is the role of this BI? Which we say business ends. So the major role is to transform raw data into dashboard and insights for executives. Raw data, raw data into dashboard and for executives. So the impact it plays, it improves decision making. It improves decision making. It helps to track KPIs, identify growth opportunities. For example, let's look at building a dashboard to track customer, track company performance across all departments. You understand? That is number one area of business intelligence. Like I said, the roles they play is transforming data into dashboards and insights. So if you're into this field or you're taking this role, like I mentioned, this application, to what you're going to follow, that is the business intelligence part. Like I told us last week that it's not all the tools you are meant to know. You understand? It's not all the tools. It's not all the tools you are meant to know. So you can decide to go for business intelligence. You are still going to make a lot of money from that. You're still going to make a lot of revenue from that. So business intelligence, you transform raw data into dashboard and executive. Then it's used also to improve decision making. Make decision with it. That's what make you a data analyst, not the tools only. The ability to make decision without tools. Know the tools. Once you know the tools, it's fine. Then use the tools to make decision, solve problem. You understand? Use it to solve problem. Use it to bring improvement in the company. use it to take the company to level. You understand? So that is the benefit of that. So are you following? Are you with me? Are you with me? Like I explained earlier on that a business intelligent professional is like a trans between data and decision makers. Please take note. A business intelligent professional. So if you're going into the role of business intelligence, that it's like a translator between data and decision makers. So their main goal is to turn raw data, complex data, into actionable insights that executives and managers can use to make strategic decision. They can use to make what? Strategic decision. So if you are just joining, we are looking at turning data analysis into a area. Then under it, we're looking at the reward application across industry. So we are looking at the first one I put down there, which is business intelligence. So I'm trying to explain the business intelligence. I'm breaking it down so for you to know the area, then for you to know the tools to use for it. Okay, so like I was explaining, the roles of a BI analyst, the role of analyst, a business intelligence professional, I said again, is like a translator between data and decision makers. Their main goal is to what? To turn raw data, complex data into actionable insights that managers can use to make strategic decision. They can use to make what? Strategic decision. So we have some key responsibility. We have some key responsibility we need to understand. The first responsibility for a BI analyst, which is business intelligence. The first responsibility is to collect data, collection of data, and integration. Collection of data and what? And integration. Are we following? That is the first thing. Collection of data and integration. Pull data from different sources, CRM, sales, database, and marketing platform. Are you with me? The key responsibility includes what? Data collection and integration. Under it, you say pull down or pull data from multiple sources. So you can have data from different sources. You can get the data from marketing platform. You can get the data from CRM system. You can get the data for sales database. Then the second responsibility is data cleaning and preparation. Data cleaning and preparation. So if you're looking for the way to use these skills, these data analyst skills, um, being a data analyst, knowing the tools, you have to deep into not just the tools. You have to know things you can achieve with that tools. You understand? You have to know what you can achieve with those tools. So, so like I explained earlier, just to show us. So I was explaining the key responsibility. So I've mentioned data collection and integration, then data cleaning and preparation. You have to ensure data is accurate, consistent, and ready for analysis. You have to what? You have to ensure that data is accurate. You must make sure that your data set is what? Is accurate. You must make sure your data is consistent and ready for analysis. You understand? That is what you should know. Next, we have reports creation. Dashboard and report creation. So when we talk about dashboard and report creation, you visualize data using tools like BI, Power BI. We have Power BI, which is business intelligence, which is owned by Microsoft. Then we have Tableau, Looker. So those three software I just mentioned are three major software you can use as a BI analyst. As a BI analyst, I mentioned three. I mentioned Tableau, I mentioned Power BI, then I mentioned Looker. These three major tools can be used as a BI analyst. Please, if you're confused or you want to ask a question, you don't know where I am, I'm going to explain, please you can drop the chat so I will know what and what this you're facing over there. Okay, so like I said, the dashboard and report creation, visualize data using tools like Power BI and Tableau or Looker. Tools can be used for data visualization. It can be data visualization. Then next we have insight generation. Insight generation. So the ability to trends and opportunities for you to identify trends. So as a BI analyst, you have that ability to help company to do what? To identify trends and opportunity. Like I said, it's not the tools. Like I come again. It's not just knowing the tools. You understand? That's why this live section is not just a 1 day live section. It's not just a 2 days live section. It's an eye opener. Can you hear me? It's an eye opener. So it's not just 1 day live section, like I said. It's not just 1 day live section. It's an eye opener. So, can you hear me? Are we there together? Are we there? Please, if you're there, let me see. Let me see a sign on the comment section. Sorry, 1 minute. So let's move on. So in this section, for into business, for some of us that are into that work in bank, for some of us that are into healthcare sector, you're going to gain a lot of things here. You're going to know where you're going to how to apply these skills. Now, some of us don't know how to apply it. We're learning data. You don't know that it speaks more than just the Excel. You understand? Something we can apply day-to-day activities, our day-to-day daily lives that we live. We can use these tools. You understand? So I stopped at insight generation. I told us that we can trends, ability to identify trends and what and opportunities. Next, support structure, which is the fifth one. The first one I mentioned is data collection and integration. I'm explaining the key responsibility of BI analysts. So use these tools to increase your pay or for you to use it to start earning more. You have to understand the key responsibility. Some of us don't know our key role. You understand? you need to understand the key responsibility. Get so first one I told us is the BI, which is business intelligence. So I've given us the key responsibility: data collection and integration, data cleaning and preparation, then dashboard reports creation, inspiration. Then we are moving to support strategy decisions. You have to help the management answer questions like, for example, which line is growing fastest? There's some things you should pull out from it. Product line is what is fastest. Where should we cut costs without revenue? You understand? These are things you should ask. These are things that you should help company. You understand? Help the management. The question that the management can ask you as someone that is representing as BI analyst. So you can be asked which products like growing faster. So you should be able to answer that question. Where should we cut cost without hurting revenue? Then which region are underperforming? That is your that is your job as a BI analyst. So for some of us that want to go into that area, we already know the tools. Like some of us in this section, maybe you're good in Excel. Some of us are good in Excel already. Some of us are good in Tableau already. Understand? Some of us are good in some of these tools already. So you should know the areas you should dive into. You get what I'm saying? You should know the areas you should dive into. So, like what I'm explaining now is BI. This is business intelligence. So I'm going to be taking it slow, slow, slow. So you should be able to understand the differences, the areas when you're doing your application to apply, the kind of job you should apply. You understand? So let's move on. Let's look at the impact of BI, which is the business intelligence. The impact of BI. So BI intelligence directly affects company performance. BI intelligence, BI intelligence directly affects company performance. Directly company performance. Number one, improve decision making. I will repeat again. The impact of BI analysts. So you have as a BI analyst, that is business intelligence, or business analyst, business analyst. So there are some key impacts you bring into the company. You understand? First, you improve their decision making. How do you improve the decision making? The executive no longer guess. They no longer guess. They base decision on data. They see you as the fact because you are the one managing the data. They base the decisions on the data. If you are following, are we there? Okay. So let me get a response from us, maybe on chat. You can drop. How many of us are BI analysts? You have worked as a BI analyst before in a company, or you're just gaining the deep understanding and the key role of it in this section? Because I like to know on the connection. Like I said, this section is not just this training is not just it's not just for talking. We are still going to do a training. I'm still going to train us, and we have to understand. These are some foundation that people don't. You just go to enroll in a company or this IT institute. You just jump into it. For me, God have helped me. People that come across me that I've trained time for some years. During the training section, I tried to do my best telling them the areas, what and what. But there are some training company There's some training company that they won't this. They won't explain this to you. Once you just come, they will just start Excel class with you. You want to do data. I know that I can teach you practical, 100% practical. But I feel that there are some things, not I feel, there are some things you know. And knowing these things will help you. Knowing it will help you very, very well. Why? It will help you to know your direction, the application, the job you should apply for. As a data person, someone that knows Excel, no Power BI, jobs that require more than those tools, which you never know, you never known before, you never known before. Until you apply, you look at the tools. Oh, am I going to go and learn these tools again? Am I going to go and learn these tools again? But if you have known before that, okay, I'm going into data analyst, or I'm going into business analyst, or I'm going into data science, or I'm going into statistics. So you should know some of the tools that you are required to know. Some company end up teaching you Excel, SQL, and Power. Great, it's great. But for yourself, if you fully understood your journey, you will know that that is not just the end road. You went there to do what they have, the package they have. There is more to that package. Ask question. If I'm not the one teaching you, if I'm enrolling with, if you're enrolling outside, let's say maybe some of us are living in different places, some of us are not. Just if you want to enroll, make sure you have the breakdown of it, not just pick. And I also tell people again that your region, the area you are, also matters. Are selling, know the tools they use. You understand? You can come and learn BI, BI finish, and you discover that, oh, these people, they don't use BI here, they don't use Power BI here. Then you now learn Tableau, or you're struggling to learn Looker. Like I just gave us example that I gave us that you should focus on the BI, the Tableau, and the Looker. Those three, if you know, I'll show you that there's opportunities for you. You understand? If you know those three BI, three business intelligence, I'll show you, you will see a lot of opportunities in that field. You understand? You see a lot of opportunities in that field. Let's move on before I cut off. So, the impact of BI and the impact, improve decision making. So executive no longer guess. So you can see what you bring. Before they will be guessing, oh, it's like this, it's like that. No, they don't longer guess because data speak facts. Data is facts. You're talking about facts. You understand? You're talking about facts when you're talking about data. Facts. Then the next is tracking KPIs. That is monitor key metrics like sales. You monitor the sales revenue, then you monitor the costs and the operational efficiency. You monitor all this. Then the next is identifying growth opportunity. Identifying growth, spot trend before competitors. You need to spot the trend before the competitors. You need to spot the trend before the competitors. The last one there is operational efficiency. Help different departments coordinate waste and optimize resources. Company pays top salaries for BI professionals. Take this. Companies pays top salary for BI professionals because their work can save millions of dollars, increase revenue, and give a competitive. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? Company pays top salary for BI professional, which is business intelligent professionals, because their work can save millions of dollars. Their work can increase revenue in the company. Their work can give competitive edge. Okay, let me bring it back to digital marketing of it. Let me bring it out to marketing of your products. You have two people working under you. You're producing milk. and you have two people working under you. One of them know how to make use of XU optimization to help people to locate your product on the platform. The other one does not know how to do that. What it does is you go to shop, different shop, and sell the products. At the end of the month, that is doing the search engine optimization, the one that optimize your product online, now emerge selling of the product. Who do you think that perform best? Is the one that is running the SEO, that is doing it online. You understand? Same thing apply here. If you know it and you cannot use it to do these areas I just mentioned, you cannot use the skills of the BI that your Power BI that you know, your Looker. You cannot use it to help company to save millions, to increase revenue, to give competitive edge. You have to sit down and study the course again, not the tools. You have not the tools. So I tell people again that you may be claiming that you know the tools. You've not seen you've not see a question, you've not see a business question. You may be claiming, oh, I can use Excel formulas. You understand? Some of us are in that shoe. I can solve formulas. You understand? I can solve formulas, do equations. You understand what I'm saying? We can do some certain things with Excel, but you've not solved business problem. By the time you solve business problem, you will know if you truly understand the Excel of it, or it's just the one they taught you in your or the one you just get familiar with. By the time they give you a business problem to solve, do that's when you know that, oh, it's like I just know these tools for this. I can't think help this company based on these tools. You now be looking for somebody. Ah, sir, ma, see what they gave me to solve. This is what they gave me to solve. Why do you think you're doing that? You're doing that because you don't have the in-depth yet. And yet. You have not know what it takes to be a BI analyst. You just know Excel. Excel, you can't use the Excel to solve problem. You understand? So by the time you use all these skills I mentioned now, by the time you use it to solve issues, by the time you can use it to solve problem, will look for you. Job will come. Yes. Companies will come looking for you because you have a value. You have something that they can pay millions of get. By the time they give you a tax, they give you something to handle, you can solve it in just a tips. In 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you can solve it for them. That's what will give you an edge in using it to increase your revenue or your pay. Because there are a lot of people out there that know Excel. Have you asked yourself that question? There are a lot of people out there that know SQL. There are a lot of people out there that know Power BI. But what will make you ahead of them, what will give you an edge above them, is your thinking, what you can do with it. Both of us can go and apply as a BI analyst. They give us data sets. Say, oh, you guys should take this data set and work on this data set. That is when we know if we can apply our skills to help the company, not knowing the skills. So it's from there they will separate us. You may know how to design dashboard better than me. You understand? You may know how to like solve formulas, but when it comes to using it to bring out um to bring out increase in revenue, to bring to help the company to see where they are making their losses, how to increase their revenue, just to bring out to make the company know that, oh, this and this is what you need to do. I tell people it's not about dashboard. Look, doing a good dashboard is good. Doing a fine dashboard is good. Basically, the presentation is good, but the most important thing is what were you able to do with it? How effective is your dashboard? I give you a data set now. I throw a data set in this section. I say, oh, let's work on this data. It can be a data of maybe 100 rows, then 4 columns. I say, work on this data. Let's see what you can do with it. Do something with it. We're able to bring out insight from it. That makes you a BI analyst. Am I making sense? Like I said, this is not just, I'm going to be breaking down data, anything data in this YouTube section, anything data, I'll be breaking it down so that you don't miss direction. You understand? Don't end up with somebody that just know Excel and teach you. Somebody that just know Excel teach you, you will just fall into that line. So what I'm doing now is educating people so that when you sit down, let's say you enroll in a place that you want to do one or two things. By the time you do your first class, second class, you will know that, oh, am I in the right place? You understand? It's like I said, it's not just about the tools. It's not just about the tools. Let's move on. I have a few minutes more. Like I said, please tune in every Wednesday. Like I make a commitment on that, that every Wednesday I will be on live explaining as many that join to understand what data is, data analysis, business analysis, data modeling, data mining, data engineering, anything data, I will explain to give us a good understanding. Understand? So they give us a, so as I'm explaining, if you want to ask me questions, if you want to go into IT, you want to go into data, web development, cybersecurity, networking, any areas that you want to go and you are not sure of it, you can drop a text. You can drop. I drop my email. I just drop it again, or I drop my phone number. You can send me a message on WhatsApp, then I can assist you. If you don't know the area to go, you're confused, you want to move into IT, or you have somebody that want to go into IT, does not know the areas, the cost to pay, you can chat me up, then I'll guide you through it. So that is my contact. You can save it. Then, if you're not on our platform, please try to be in that platform because we'll be dropping tips, data tips, being sometimes we drop job tips also. I'll be dropping CV, how to organize CV, dropping there in that WhatsApp group. We have a WhatsApp group for this section. So let's move on. Sorry, let me get water. Okay, so let's go on. So I've explained the impact of BI analyst. We'll look at example of the kind of project that you should look at, of what you should, the kind of project you should do. So you can build a company performance dashboard across departments. You understand? You can build a company dashboard across all departments. Across all departments. Scenario: a mid company want to see how sales, marketing, and operations are performing. You can do that. You can do that. So first step you need to take doing that kind of project, the first step you need to take is to get the data. You collect data, then you collect data, you analyze the metrics, then visualize the insights. So those are the 5 steps you should take when working with that aspect. So like I said, if you're confused in this section, you want to ask questions, you want to ask me questions, let me give us like 5 minutes. Or if you don't want to ask me question, you can drop your message, ask me question here. You can message me on WhatsApp. That's my WhatsApp contact. So you can tell, then I will respond.